of my first ripe Tigerella tomatoes. I've picked one and I'm just going to take these two. So look at those, aren't they beautiful? So I've just tipped out the last bucket of Penton Javelin. It's got a little bit of scab, but there's some decent sized potatoes there. I've also managed to get some Pongo beans, Cobra, Golden Gate, Purple Queen, and a couple of runners. There was a few pea pods left and some baby carrots and a courgette. So I am now going to go and do my dinner. Well, it's just started to rain again, so I'm back in the kitchen. I've just managed to pick 3 courgettes, handful of Sun Gold tomatoes and a couple of Roma plum tomatoes, and all of these beans. So these are all going to be blanched and frozen. Tomatoes is going to go in the fridge for now. I may do myself a couscous salad later for lunch. And the 3 courgettes, these are quite large ones. I've got another one in the fridge, so I may end up doing a chocolate courgette cake, but I haven't quite decided yet. So these are the Scarlet Empire runner beans, Climbing French beans Golden Gate, Climbing French beans Cobra, and a couple of Purple Queen. Well, I've prepped all that now, and I just managed to rescue a few broad beans. I had 2 small plants still growing, but I've noticed that because of all the wet weather we've had, they were developing chocolate spots, so I've removed them. They're gone. So that's another batch for the freezer. Honestly, after all the hot, dry weather we had where we were crying out for rain, the last few weeks all we've had is rain. It just hasn't stopped. Everything is saturated. And I just wanted to show you my cauliflowers and broccoli. Look at the weeds. I mean, they're growing. They've got a huge amount of growth. I'm looking fabulous with it. But look at those weeds. I mean, they're only tiny, so they'll be easy to remove. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, what a drop of rain does. The sweet corn have all got cobs. And they're all growing. Calendula's loving it. I come out every day and deadhead it. I need to do that again today. But it's just beautiful. The leeks are benefiting from all the rain. I think come the autumn I'm going to have to split this rhubarb as it's getting too big. I think it might do it some good as well if I divide it. And I've got new shoots coming on the rose. So in the autumn I'll be able to decide what to keep and what to train. So that definitely benefited from being cut right back last year. Greenhouse is all steamed up. And I've just spotted that beauty, so I need to get that one. And the tomato suckers are all taken. Put another one in there the other day, and that's not picked up yet, but it will. But they've obviously developed roots now. Lola Rosso's growing. Chard is growing. And I've got some potatoes through. These are the ones that were in the kitchen cupboard sprouting. There's some in there and there's a bulge, so I reckon that's going to poke through. I think these are going to start colouring up. This is the yellow bell pepper. There's the Cheyenne. Jalapeno. Patchy. Scotch bonnet. Cayenne. These are snack peppers, loads on here. Another cayenne. That's a beauty. It's got loads of flowers. And then behind that is the aubergine. It did have a flower on it, but that dropped off. But I've got two coming now, which I think will actually fruit. Alicante tomatoes. Some more there. These are the Shirley. And there's a lot coming. girl. So I've got that truss, and then if I come round, more there. This is a super moment. There's more there. And this is the Roma. I mean, it's very bushy because it is a bush variety, and it's got a lot of flowers on it but no fruit at the moment. Onions are still drying out. Still got green leaves. Same up here with the red. Oh, there's been a break in the rain, so I've just weeded all of this. There are a few at the back that I couldn't reach. But it gave me an opportunity to inspect all the leaves, and there's no little nasties in there. So I started weeding this bed, and I found myself a little job I hadn't really planned on doing today. So if you're growing strawberries and you've never done it before, you will have seen runners, and this one it's come from the parent plants. Actually, it's got some roots. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay it over this pot. I'm going to try and bury those roots a bit, and then I've got a piece of wire which I'm going to bend like a peg and hold it in place, and then hopefully that will take root, and when it's established I can cut it from the parent plant, and that gives me a free plant for next year. Right, as you can see, I've managed to layer 4 runners, so it's potentially 4 new plants, and that whole bed has now been weeded. Looks much better. I'm going to go in and have a coffee now. Wow, the sun's out. We've had so much rain you just would not believe it. I mean, we complained no end about the long, dry, hot weather we had all through June. Most of July's been wet. I mean, it's just rained constantly. My beds are absolutely sodden, and the plants are loving it, but then so are the weeds. But you can't have everything. So I'm sitting out here in the summer house. I'm still limited in what I can do because of my knee, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this revised soil test report, because the when I discussed it in my previous video, the RHS had accidentally left off the vegetable part of the analysis or recommendations for growing vegetables. So they've sent me the revised report. It's 9 pages long. I'm not going to go through it on here. What I'll do is I'll do exactly the same as I did in my previous video. I will copy some of the pages that are relevant, and I will post them at the end of the video, which you can read, and if you're not interested then you can just scroll past it. But basically it's reiterating what it said before, and that is the pH is too high, it's too alkaline, and most vegetables are going to struggle no end at this particular level. So it's given me lots of recommendations, but it's saying what I need to do as far as fertilizing, but then it says don't fertilize anything until you've amended the pH, and then it goes on to say that that's going to be very difficult to do. So my head is spinning at the moment. It is suggesting that I use sulphur chips or powder, which I need to go down the garden centre to get. It doesn't say at all about incorporating ericaceous compost, and I know some people have suggested that, but I've also been told that there's a risk in doing that. So I'm going to stick to the recommendations of the RHS. I'm going to get the sulphur. I'm also going to see if I can get some coffee grounds, which has been recommended by quite a few of you as well. So I will do that too, because I know most of the local coffee shops often have bags and bags of coffee grounds that they say you can take, and I've never taken advantage of it, but I certainly will from now on. So that's all I'm going to say. You can read the report if you wish, but for now I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy this bit of sunshine. So I'll speak to you later.